Welcome back to our Global IT Solution GITS Postman channel on lecture 03. Before we started this lecture, I highly encourage you to complete previous lecture related to this course. Let's get started and jump on the topics. So today we'll be learning about how to do customization on the test assertion. Status code validation will be remaining same, schema validation will be remaining same. Also we'll be learning how to add global variable, which means if you export this collection, that variable can go along with it. And you don't have to run or execute or update or modify the variable of it. So what is the global variable? So we'll be creating a global variable for common step, which basically service endpoint and the resource endpoint. So service endpoint and resource endpoint, service endpoint always remaining same. Resource endpoint can be changed time to time, but not pretty often, right? So we can put them into a variable and we can call that variable and reuse that variable over here on the endpoints itself. So that way it can be also passed as the security. So this is also as a security concern if you hard code it again and again. Let's do it. Now on the as you see that list of users and the create users. So those are the endpoints we executed. There is a 4 test on the first one. On the second one there is a 3 test. So that's been 7 tests, right? Now we'll be customizing the first test assertion a little bit. So right now we are using the snippet as you see in this test assertion, but we'll be using our own assertion as a customized way. So using test status code equal response code dot code equal 200, variable data equal to json dot parse response body. So from the response body we're parsing the data basically and validating the data total page equal total page equal 2, per page equal 6, data dot total equal 12, per page equal 6, page equal 6, and total pages equal 2. So this is our validation from the response body, right? This is hard coded, and this is we're validating over here. So and also, so this status code, as you see, we're using a one-liner status code, this one with the test. So you can replace with this one instead of this. You can use this, right? So one line over here there is a 2 line, but you can use a single line. So this is how you customize your test assertion. So this one will be go on the top, and this is the second one, key value pairs validation, and the third one, which is the response. So same thing you can use over here instead of pm.expect. So you can use the tests, then expect pm. So this is the rest of them, like them. I'm just leaving for you to update it. Should be up and running. There is a 8 assertion here, right? Okay, that's pretty good. And so now you know how to create a test assertion from the snippet, and also how to do a test assertion from the customization, from the customized code as an optimization, right? Part of the optimizations. Now let's get started with the variable. So this is, as you see, on the 2 endpoints, right? We're using the same service endpoint and resource endpoint. What if we can just copy that service endpoint on the collection on the top? You see the learning request RESTful service, we can put them over here, right? We can put, you see the variable, we can create a variable, let's say service endpoint, initial value and the current value will be remaining same, and resource endpoint, resource endpoint, and resource endpoint will be API. Now once you do that, basically on the right hand side, let's remove it and save it, all both of them, right? So this is not any environment or anything, we are not using any environment. So this is no environment. We're not using any environment. We're just using the variable on the top of the collection folder. This is how the way you don't have to export or import a global environment into it. You just add the environment or the global variable on the top of the collections. Right? Now, if you do that, service endpoint and the resource endpoint. So service endpoint, let's go to the list of users. Instead of service endpoint, you'll be using here double curly brace, and inside the double curly brace, you'll be using service endpoint. And same thing for the resource endpoint, you'll be using the resource endpoint for the API. Double curly brace, opening and closing. So it should be fine. Should be fine. You'll be able to see both of them. Now save it and send it. So all the test case pass. Also make sure you are able to see on the curl comments. You see the code icons on the right hand side. Click on the code. You'll be able to see the what is the endpoint exactly look like, right? HTTPS request in API user page 2. And same thing, you can go on the, now you can just copy service endpoint and resource endpoint and paste him on the create users. So that's mean reusable endpoints, reusable variable you are using. So it's 201 created. Now also you can see it on the right hand side, the code, curl comments, right? And content type is a application JSON, and this is a body, which is the body you are using it, right? So both of them you're able to seeing it as a curl comments. Now also you can set a environment variable on the top. You can create on your own if you want to, but this is not a recommended one. This is the recommended one. So you'll be using environment variable or the static variable or dynamic variable on the top of the collection. That way, once you export this collection, it will go along with the collections. Hope it is helpful for you. And on the next class, next lecture, we'll be seeing more depth features of the postman, how to execute send request, get the response, and execute it in a more optimization way. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Stay tuned for upcoming lecture for the rest of the course.